Welcome back
to Marriage Beyond the Veil. All right, so it's playoff season.
Okay.
All right, so we got baseball, basketball, hockey. Baseball, basketball, hockey. I think those three, and even tennis. But anyway, they're best of. So you play like a series of games, and whoever wins the most wins that playoff.
Okay.
But with football and soccer, football, depending on what country you're in, you play all season, and basically you get eliminated with each game. Okay. So in a love relationship, you find some people that do the best of. Mm-hmm. So which means you get married, just not working for me. Get divorced. They do it again and again. But then you have other people, and I had the pleasure.
That's the best stuff? Or is that what you call it?
I don't know the worst stuff. I don't know. Oh, hopefully they're getting to...
Is that the one and done?
No. So the one and done will be like football. When a person gets with someone and they stick with them through, you gotta work with your team to win the championship. That same team. It's not going to change. You're always going to be playing this game to that game to that game to that game. So you're not playing the same team over and over again.
So you're working your way to the Super Bowl.
Right. So you can't have when you're doing the best of, you have one bad game and still win that series. You might even have two bad games, maybe three. If it's 7, you can have 3. Okay. You got to win 4 to get to the next. But with football, soccer, you play the game, you keep on. So with your team, you really got to work together constantly to be the best every single game.
Right.
Can't have a bad game.
Okay.
But with the other, you can have a couple of bad games. So I'm just curious because I had the pleasure of spending some time with your friends this past weekend. Mm-hmm. And I'm still amazed that of your group, the majority of you guys have been married for 30 plus years, almost 35 years or more.
Right.
So in my mind, when I was thinking of playoffs, I was like, okay, so you guys took this work together, because for you, the end is death. Or, that's when you separate. That's when your goal is to be there to the end game.
For better or for worse. In sickness and in health.
Yeah, exactly. So
death
yeah, so I just thought about that. I was like, for some people, they play a game, it's not working. I don't have to give 100% all the time. And so, you get to one stage and you may be there, but then, they may switch over. It's different than when you have to fight with that same team over and over and over. And you got to be at your best A game every single game. Because if you don't get to the next phase.
Well, in the playoffs of love relationships. Mm-hmm. So yeah, hopefully with each game, with each opportunity, mm-hmm. You learn more. You review the tapes.
Oh, okay.
You see where the mistakes were, mm-hmm. right? Mm-hmm. You look at the plays that mm-hmm. you have executed and what plays might work well, what plays might be better. Mm-hmm. And the same thing in a love relationship. I mean, it requires you to really, like you said, give your all, mm-hmm. but constantly assess how well are we doing?
Right.
What can we do better? Mm-hmm. And then begin to execute that. So, as you're, to use the terminology from the playoffs, mm-hmm. Every time you have another opportunity to play another game, you want to make it count.
Yeah, you do.
Because you don't want to wind up like the football situation where it's like, okay, you had a bad day, you didn't win, and you're done.
Yeah, that's true. But I guess it could be both ways.
It could. Mm-hmm. And I think in most relationships, it's the football kind of an analogy, mm-hmm. where it's just like, okay, you lost this game, you're out. Mm-hmm. Or, using the basketball and baseball analogy, mm-hmm. where it's just like the best of.
The best of.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We got 7 shots at this. You need to do at least 4 to continue.
To continue.
Yeah.
I like that.
So, what about you? What do you think? Love to hear from you. Until tomorrow, if the Lord says the same.
Have a good evening.
Play ball!